Good morning, all. I have a new site for you, musictheory.net/exercises. Our goal of the week is to get 10 out of 10 or 10 out of 20 or your first 10 correct. We're usually on level 2 for staff identification, and staff identification is this whole section here. And within that, you have these subsections of note identification, key signature identification, interval identification, scale identification, and finally chord identification. We're going to do all of those this week. And what I need you to do is once you get on this site, and I've applied the link for you, www.musictheory.net/exercises, you'll go right to note identification. And you'll notice the breadcrumbs over here and a settings wheel, settings gear. You can change things, but use the default for this week. You can reset. You can show a timer. This week, we're really not going to be dependent on the timer because we're explaining things and we're learning the site. After we get going, then if you want to show the timer, it starts as soon as you get on the site. And again, no reason to get into that kind of pressure right away. You can skip a question. You can show the web settings, and of course, you could even produce a progress report, which again, I'm not interested in this week. We'll get into that in future weeks. On the settings wheel, we can go treble clef. I recommend that this week. Treble ranges from low A to high C. Positions, lines, and spaces, of course. Key signature, like I said, I'm keeping it at a simple level of right now, all in the key of C, A minor. We're not going to get into these other keys just yet. Note names, letters, that's easy. It will give you a helpers. I would rather you didn't use helpers. Here they are. They're showing you the names of the spaces and the lines. But again, at this point in our lives, we shouldn't need helpers. Accidentals, yes, we definitely want to see that. We don't need filters, and it will go automatically to the next question after an audio. So our first note up here, hopefully you all know it's a B flat. We click on it, and you get the first answer. Your next one is a G, and again, you see the flat sign in front of it, and the flats are all on the bottom. Take your time. Take your time. Be accurate right away. It's a low A flat. And here's a D flat. And here's an A flat again, just to make sure you're not second guessing yourself. And a G. And here is a G flat. And you get the idea at this point, I hope, as to what we need to do. My sharp, C sharp. And one more for you, F flat. Okay, so there's my 10 out of 10. Now, you don't have to go that quickly. I want you to take your time. When you're done, you can take a picture. So for Mac users, obviously that's Command-Shift-3. You get a screenshot right away. There it is, showing me the 10 out of 10 on there. It depends on your phone, how you get a picture of that. That would be great. And that shows me note identification. There you got 10 of 10. Now you could make mistakes, and as your mistakes happen, you can be 10 out of 13, 10 out of 14. Just get 10 is my main concern right here. 10. Go to the next one. Key signature identification. Same thing. You've got the settings. And again, key signature 7 for all of our keys. It's right now allowing natural and all of these sharp keys. If you wish to switch that, you want to be more familiar with something else, you can. You can mess around with that and get these settings. All right, so you see how they did that here? Which really, when you do that, it helps your options a lot. So right away, you should know that when it says major, we're going to stay in major this week. And same thing. I'm not going to go through all these prompts and get you all that. Although it is video gaming addicting, you know. When you're done, same thing. You take the picture. You You show me that you got at least 10 right. I stopped at 4 here, but you show me you got at least 10. You could also reset each score when you're done. See how it's still showing me the score? You can, whoops, sorry about that. You can go back to reset score, and therefore everything starts from the beginning again. On the intervals, you got the setting, and again, I'm just using the defaults. I'm not changing anything right now, and I'm letting it display exactly what they want here. When we count up, 1, 2, 3, 4, we see that's a fourth. We're in the key of A. D's are okay, so therefore we are a perfect fourth. And the same thing, it shows you how that works. In the key of B, A's are sharp. We got 5 sharps in this key. Even though our key signature is there, it's unrelated to the bottom note at this point. So the bottom note is B, and you have an A sharp. That is a major 7. Same thing, ladies and gentlemen. B flat to B flat should be a perfect octave. And I'll do one more for you, major third. This one takes a little longer if you do use the timer because you have so many buttons you have to find. The capital M is major, and the small m, of course, is minor. All right, you have the idea there. And you will take a picture of that for me. You've got the entire week to do that. And again, I'd like you to do 10 of 10. Scale identification, same thing. You've got settings and the breadcrumbs, which will help you. You can reset the score. And right here, we have the key of F major. Oh, and it gives you extra. It actually plays it for you. Now, here's a trick. On the melodic minor, instead of going up one way and down a different way, which automatically tells you melodic minor, it just really lowers the third and keeps everything else major. When you see that, you know it's going to be melodic minor. So it's a little tricky this way. I've taught you that it goes up one way and comes down another way. This case here, it just lowers the third. So when you just see a third lowered, you know it's going to be melodic minor. Okay, in the key of E flat, sorry about that, you have the 3 flats, B, E, and A. And I'll do one more for you. In the key of E, you have E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp. So I just see a lowered third again. Okay, I don't see a lowered 6th. I don't see a lowered 7th. All right. You get the idea. You go through 10 of them. Doesn't matter how many you've gone through. And you take the picture for me. Finally, chord identification is the same thing. When we're looking at chords, you need to know your keys. You can write your own circle of fifths on a piece of paper. Keep it next to you. F, A, C sharp. Well, right there we see an augmented triad. Triad's 3 notes. And it does that for you. Oh, look at that. C, E, G sharp. So they're going to do it again for you. Here's a 7th chord. A should have been C sharp, should have been E natural, and to be major could have been G sharp. Now it's G natural, E flat, which is a flat 5. So you have flat 7, flat 5, or lowered 5 and lowered 3. So when you have all of those, it is the half diminished. To be fully diminished, that should have been a G flat. And finally, the last one, E. I'm sorry, yeah, it is E. E, G sharp, B, and they've got the B sharp. They're showing you an augmented triad. Go through all of these, take your pictures. You can send them to me throughout the week. Oops, I hit the wrong button on that. I hit one that wants me to do that. Okay, fine. And there's my picture. And you can, of course, show me the score. Good luck. Certainly email me at sopkom@pcsb.org. Have a great, safe week.